Hi, my name is Cristal Logothetis and I'm the founder of Carry the Future. Today is World Refugee Day, so I've been thinking long and hard about what sort of message I wanted to put out there and share with you. And in my thought process, I was thinking, well, do I want to create a message for the 6,000 plus volunteers at Carry the Future and the people that are out there in the trenches making a difference in refugee lives? Or do I want to maybe do a more general message for people who have empathy for refugees but have never really translated it into some sort of actionable compassion? And so I was reminded by this story that I once heard, and I kind of gave it my own little twist. And I think that it'll really illustrate what we're doing with the refugee crisis and why everybody is part of this crisis, whether you're a volunteer in the trenches, whether you're someone at home who's watching the situation unfold at the border or in the Middle East or in Europe, and you care because you're seeing that it's a human problem. So there is this lady, and one day it was a beautiful day, it was sunny, and so she decided to go out for a walk, and she decided to take a stroll down the river by her house. And as she's walking down the river, suddenly she hears the screams of a little child. So she rushes over and she sees that in the center of this very wide river, there's a child drowning. And without thinking twice, she dives right into the river, swims up to the child, saves the child, brings the child to safety on the bank. And no sooner than she had put that child to safety, she hears the screams of another child in the river. So she looks, and sure enough, in the center of the river, there's another child that's drowning, struggling to stay afloat. So without even taking time to catch her breath, she swims to the center of the river, she pulls the child out, brings the child to safety, and this keeps happening over and over again. It's the end of the day and she's exhausted, and there's just a never-ending stream of babies or children magically appearing in the middle of the river who are drowning, and she has to save them, and her life is instantly transformed. All she can do now is swim back and forth from the bank to the river, saving these children. And so many hours later, she's exhausted, but she's doing it because she knows that she's literally saving lives. When a second woman walks in, she walks by the river, she sees what's going on, and so without thinking twice, she swims into the river, follows the first woman in and helps her save the child and brings the baby to safety. And then as soon as they do that, they realize that there's not one but two children in the center of the river now who are drowning. So they both swim, grab the babies, and the first woman returns to the bank, but she realizes that the second woman stayed there, and she yells at her, "Hey, what are you doing? We can't take a break. Can't you see that children are drowning?" And the second woman yells back, "I'm teaching them how to swim." And so now you have a woman who's swimming back and forth, saving babies, and you have another one who's there who's teaching them how to swim, because more and more babies and children are showing up, drowning in the middle of this river. And then a third woman walks by, and she sees all of this commotion, she sees what's happening, and she walks right past them. And so the first two women get really upset, and they yell at her and they say, "Hey, what are you doing? Can't you see that the children are literally, like, they need us to save their lives? Why are you walking past us?" And she says, "I'm going to go find out who's throwing these kids in the river." And so the moral of this story is that there's so many different ways to tackle a crisis, especially one as large as the refugee crisis, and there's no wrong way to do it. Everybody is in on this, everybody's needed, whether you're saving lives directly in the trenches, going up to refugees and providing essential aid, whether you're staying in the camps and teaching them valuable life skills so that they can get jobs or they can assimilate into the new society that they're a part of, or whether you're speaking out, and finding out what is going on a global scale, who is causing this, what can we do to change laws and make things different so that the world can be better one day. Whichever way that you are tackling this, you are still making a huge difference, and I want you to know that. So on World Refugee Day, that's my message to you. I hope that one day we will be able to work shoulder to shoulder. Thank you.